I was American born, and I'll die in America.
Welcome to our group.
Welcome to Defenders 7. Defenders 7 has and this ought to show it right here.
Do you or someone you know suffer from depression? If so, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Defenders 7 Monday night broadcast with your host and our Colonel, Kimberly PURVIS, and I'm your co-host and General of the Defenders 7, Bobby Ormsby. Welcome, y'all. Before we get on with tonight's broadcast, I have a disclaimer to read. The views and opinions expressed on Defender 7 radio show and Facebook page are those of the callers and or authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Defenders 7. That being said, welcome again, and for all of y'all that are new tuning in to us, check out our website, all lowercase letters, www.defenders, Roman numeral V as in Victor, with 2 small i's.com. Now on our website we have a store and a donate button. All proceeds and donations go 100% back to our communities in a time of need. So please, by all means, purchase something from our store or click that donate button. Every dollar helps with what we're trying to do as the Defender 7. We can be reached on our national Facebook page by typing in the search box all capital letters, Defenders 7. Now, before you click on that join button, just know we expect all of our members and our future members to participate in everything that we do throughout all of Defender 7 group. That's meeting each other, training, disaster relief training, survival training, you name it. We're not just a Facebook group. We also consider ourselves one big extended family. Now, if you get in and you feel it's not for you, you can always leave with no hard feelings. We're also on MeWe. Just click on organizations and scroll down to Defender 7 Humanitarian American Patriot Group. Now, for tonight's show and all the shows we do here on Blog Talk, we enjoy it when you call in and participate. And that number to call, area code 914-205-5773. Again, number to call, area code 914-205-5773. I'm now opening up the phone lines. Come on and call in, folks. And welcome, Colonel Kimberly PURVIS. So
How are
far,
you?
it's just you and I. I'm doing good. You?
Not too bad. I got my homework done.
Oh, good girl.
I know.
She got her homework done.
Good girl, Tammy.
I know.
Good job.
I
That
know.
was Stephanie in the background.
Oh, I know. I can't say much. Half the time I wait till the last minute to do it. Always gets me in
Ain't
trouble.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but you get it done.
I know. Yeah. So, seeing as the slackers aren't here, I guess we could go ahead and start. So I decided let's do the top 10 most influential presidents of the United States. And so I went through all of the sites that I could find, and they pretty much all say the same 10. There may be a change here and there, but and then if we have time, I'm sure we will have time, who the worst president was or is, and which party starts the most wars. I figure, why not? What the hell? We're gonna hold on. Okay. So starting with, I'll just start with number one. It says, from the beginning of modern history, America's presidents have been the ones for whom power also came along with the presidency because of the political and financial dominance the nation has created during the last century. According to the list of the most powerful people in 2013, Barack Obama was the most powerful. Yeah, well, we're going to go over Barack Obama. So, no, yeah, I know. The internet has nothing nice to say about Obama. Trust me, at all. He was the worst. He's not the worst because right now Biden's the worst president ever. But anyway, number one is Abraham Lincoln. And with a dream to reunite the nation, Abraham Lincoln was elected as the 16th president of the United States. He served his duty towards his country as a president until his assassination in April of 1865. He was the most influential political leader of not only the USA, but the whole world, as he led the United States through the political and moral crisis during the Civil War. He started rapid development of the economy while building banks, canals, and railroads. He granted tariffs to encourage the establishment of factories. He opposed the war declaration again in Mexico in 1846, and he took various steps to end the slavery in his country as he protected escaped slaves using the army while also encouraging the border states to outlaw slavery. And he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at point blank range in Ford's Theater in 1865. Before I go on, which ironically to John F. Kennedy is number two, I don't know if you knew this or not, the similarities between Kennedy and Lincoln are identical. They're absolutely identical. I'll have to find the documentary where I found it. Lincoln was killed in a theater, right? And John Wilkes Booth ran to, I don't know, wherever he went. The person who killed Kennedy shot him outside and then ran to the theater. They had the same secretary. I mean, there's a lot of similarities in the two presidents. I'll have to find the documentary. It's Dark Legacy 1. And it's on YouTube. And it goes through everything. And all the similarities and everything like that. But Dark Legacy goes over a lot of conspiracies, and they've proved a lot of it. But JFK was the 35th president of the United States, the second youngest president of American history, and he's the only president to win the Pulitzer Prize. He served his duty to the to the nation until his assassination in November of 1963. Kennedy enrolled at Harvard College in September 1936, and he joined the U.S. Navy in 1941. Some of his best works during his presidency was the Cuban Missile Crisis and the African-American Civil Rights Movement and the Bay of Pigs invasion. He also joined the space race and the moon landing by initiating the Apollo project. During his presidency, he increased involvement of the U.S. in the Vietnam War. But he was also closely connected to the erection of the Berlin Wall, where he appointed retired General Lucius D. Clay in response. Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald in Texas on November 22nd, 1963. That's the only thing that I don't understand is like the Vietnam War. When did it start?
Wasn't it 1967?
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Because
Late
he didn't
50s.
want to go to war. He didn't want to. And that's part of the reason why he was assassinated. And Lyndon B. Johnson was pushing to go into Vietnam. That's why I don't agree with that. Let me look at it real quick. The Vietnam War. I know it ended in, damn, it was that long? So it started in 1955 and ended April 30th, 1975.
Right.
Huh. I didn't know that. I thought it started in the 60s. I didn't know it was but the Vietnam War was the deadliest because more men died in Vietnam than any other. Okay.
Hey,
so,
we woke one of the slackers up, Captain Lauren Munson from Wisconsin.
You forced me.
I didn't force you.
Yeah. Stay awake and learn something. So number 3 is George Washington. He was the first president of the United States and widely considered as the founding father of the U.S., also the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War. He replaced the Articles of Confederation by drafting the Constitution. He supported the movements of the Federalist Party, although he never officially joined it. He opposed the 1765 Stamp Act, the first direct tax on the colonies, and he protested against the Townshend Acts in 1769 by proposing Virginia to boycott English goods until the acts were repealed. His motto was to create a strong and well-financed national government while winning acceptance among all of the Americans, and he was elected president unanimously twice without support from any party. Wow. Looky there. Number 4 is Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and he was the 32nd president of the United States, who was elected 4 times. And he served the nation until his death in April 1945. Did they? Never mind. I'll just have to look it up. Let's see when they started the term limits. If I can even see what I'm typing. It was after he died. It was started in 1951 when they started term limits. This dominant political leader of the Democratic Party, built the New Deal coalition that has dominated the American politics after 1932, and also defined the liberalism of the nation in the 20th century. He led the United States during a time of worldwide economic depression and became a central figure in the world's political events. With his campaign theme song, Happy Days Are Here Again, he defeated Herbert Hoover of the Republican Party in 1932 during the Great Depression. And he also led the Allies during World War II with Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin against Nazi Germany and fascist Italy and Japan. And he created the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation for Economic Security in 1933. Ronald Reagan is number 5, which I think he should be higher, but hey, that's my opinion. Ronald Wilson Reagan was the 40th President of the United States and also served as the 33rd Governor of California prior to his presidency. He was well known for his marvelous acting skills and also served his duty as president of the Screen Actors Guild. He took the first step towards politics as a spokesman for General Electric and then won both the nomination and general election. By defeating his opponent, Jimmy Carter, in 1980, his economic policies were widely known as the Reaganomics, which reduced the tax rates for rapid industrial growth and also controlled the money supply for inflation reduction. And he led the invasion to reverse a communist coup in Grenada, whereas he escalated a war on drugs with his campaign, Morning in America. He was reelected in 1984 as the president. He also got the Berlin Wall knocked down. She didn't bring that up, but that's another good thing that he was known for. Theodore Roosevelt is number 6. Theodore Roosevelt was the amalgamation of explorer, politician, author, historian, and naturalist, and was the youngest person to serve as president of the United States at the age of just 42. The 26th president was the founder of the Progressive Party and also one of the most influential leaders of the Republican Party. He with his slogan, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." I was wondering where I heard that from. I never knew. I've heard that quote. No, seriously, I've heard that quote so many times that I had no idea. You see, when I was growing up in school, I didn't really give two squats about politics, much about history. I really didn't care. And now, the reason why I thought we should do this is because all of these kids in school now have no idea about American history. So that's why we felt it was important to do the history shows, because it's a really sad thing. He was also known for his robust masculinity and cowboy mannerism, and he would be considered racist to this day if he was alive because of his masculinity. The Naval War of 1812 established him as a famous writer and historian around 1882. His face was sculpted on Mount Rushmore along with Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and George Washington. His domestic policy, Square Deal, included the reduction of railroad rates, guaranteeing pure food, scheduled drugs, and along with breaking up capitalism. He was also the first president to lead a conservation project. Thomas Jefferson, number 7. I feel like I'm doing a friggin' countdown. For just I don't know if you guys. I know I'm changing the subject real quick. Did you guys ever listen to the radio and listen to what the hell was his name? He used to do
Dick
the new
Clark.
Ring in the New Year, huh?
Dick Clark.
Yeah. No. Oh, who was
Then
the
on
other
the
one?
number 7 countdown.
Yeah. No, but who was it? It wasn't Dick Clark for the music. It was Casey. No, was it Casey something or other? Him.
Yeah.
That's what I feel
know
like
who you're
I'm doing
talking about.
right now. The top 40, the top whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson founded the founding father and the third president of the United States. Was the principal architect in the Declaration of Independence in 1776. He also served as governor of Virginia at the beginning of the American Revolution and was the first United States secretary under George Washington. Later, he organized the Democratic Republican Party with his friend James Madison to oppose Alexander Hamilton's federalism and resigned from the cabinet of Washington. Jefferson also started the Revolution of 1800, where he regained control of Louisiana Territory from France. He was also the one to conduct the Lewis and Clark expedition to explore the West. Too bad they found California. Thomas Jefferson initiated the removal of the Indian tribal from Louisiana Territory to accommodate more free lands and for the eventual American settlers. Number 8, Harry S. Truman. Truman was elected after Roosevelt's death in 1945 as the 33rd president of the United States. America was successfully emerged victorious in the World War II under him, but as an effect, there was a strain in the relationship between his country and the Soviet Union, which later initiated the Cold War. Wow, I didn't know it was that long. I didn't know the Cold War was that long. Wow. Nazi Germany surrendered a few weeks after Truman had started his presidency. He approved the use of the atomic weapons as the final step in the war with Japan, which was expected to last a few more years. Truman issued the Truman Doctrine and also launched a $13 billion Marshall Plan to reconstruct Europe after World War II. That's a lot of money for back in 45.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot. Billion, not million, but billion. That's probably comparable to our $2 trillion joke stimulus check fund.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's nowhere near the same financially, but it would be equivalent to that pretty much. He commenced Berlin airlift in 1948, and he also created NATO. I didn't know that either. During the war between the North and South Korea, and he sent U.S. troops and got the UN approval to join the war. See, I learned things while I'm doing these. Woodrow Wilson was number 9. Thomas Woodrow, the leader of the Democratic Party, was the 28th president of the United States. Before his presidency, he was president of Princeton University, the governor of New Jersey, and he won control of Congress and the White House in 1912. And he started the progressive movement. He promulgated progressive legislative agenda, which was used till the 1933 New Deal. His legislative agenda included Federal Trade Commission Act, the Federal Farm Loan Act, the Federal Reserve Act, and the Clayton Antitrust Act. Child labor was first restricted by his Keating-Owen Act and the United Nations. He maintained neutral policy during the outbreak of the World War. In 1916, with the slogan, "He kept us out of war," he was elected and declared war against submarine warfare by Nazi Germany. And coming in at number 10 is Grover Cleveland. Sorry, I just had to do that. Grover Cleveland is the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive presidency terms as the 22nd and 24th president of the United States. Who else is going to do that? He was. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to say it. He was the prime leader of the Bourbon Democrats and opposed high tariffs and imperialism. He proposed the subsidy to business and farmers which made him an icon for American conservatives. He followed classical liberalism and relentlessly fought bossism and political corruption. The Panic of 1893 hit the nation during his second term of presidency, which produced national depressions. Those depressions ruined the Democratic Party and opened way for the Republican landslide in 1894. Grover Cleveland opposed to free silver while supporting the gold standard, which alienated agrarian, if I could speak, I'm sorry, the agrarian wing of the Democratic Party. Various different surveys and polls were conducted throughout the last century to create a list of the most powerful and influential presidents of the United States. Most notable among them were Harvard University, the Murray Blessing 1982 survey, and C-SPAN 1999 poll. So now this is the top 10 of the most influential presidents of the United States. Yeah, I think there's wiggle room for other presidents to be in there. I mean, I think Trump should be in there somewhere amongst the top 10. He really should, for all of the things that he accomplished. But then again, that's just my opinion. So what do you guys think? Yoo-hoo. Free beer.
Yoo-hoo. You,
yes, you guys.
Lorna,
you guys are quiet. CSA free beer.
I was trying to balance food.
Huh?
I was trying to balance food with my dog right there.
Okay. So there is a list of the worst presidents. But they don't include Obama, Biden, the Bushes, Clinton, Nixon. I mean, they have other ones that, like, really? Okay. But if you stop and consider what's happened recently since Reagan, how much American presidents have gone to shit. So this is the reason why I say that they don't like Obama too well. Obama, who hoped to sow peace, instead led the nation in war. Before he took office in 2008, Obama vowed to end America's grueling conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. During his second term, he pledged to take the country off what he called a permanent war footing. And our systemic effort to dismantle terrorist organizations must continue. But this is war, like all wars, must end. See, the thing about Obama is, ever since before Obama got into office, we didn't have terrorism in the United States. Not much. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't ISIS and there wasn't the Hezbollah. It wasn't all of that crap. We had no racial divide like we do now. The police were considered, officer friendly. That's what we had in school, officer friendly. Now police officers are being forced to leave schools. There's been more hatred towards the police, like when you get pulled over, because Obama told people you don't have to give them your license, you don't have to give them your car insurance. So he caused a massive divide in the country. And when he was in, he also started, everything's offensive. And that's where cancel culture started, where they started tearing down everything. And, you didn't have the right to be, to have your own opinion. But like I said, this is my personal opinion about who I think or what I thought about Obama. So Republicans versus Democrats in launching wars. This is great. If one were to compare U.S. political system to a dystopian society divided into distinct factions based on how many wars they have started, an interesting outcome rebuking conventional perceptions would have been observed. looking back at the past 118 years, there have been some divergent, warmongering Democrats and amicable Republicans. So this is this one site that calls the Democrats warmongers, and they're proving it really bad. However, more interestingly and surprising for the conventional-minded, the number of the century Democrats who kept from starting wars is actually zero. None. Every Democrat has started a war or kept us in a war. According to the research conducted by Sputnik, since the turn of the 20th century, of 8 U.S. presidents, none have managed to stay away from initiating aggression, except for Trump. He's the only one since Reagan. Before that, it'd be Trump to, what was it? Roosevelt or Eisenhower. That's how far back it is. In turn, out of 12 Republican leaders, 2, Warren G. Harding and Gerald Ford, have deviated from the generally accepted Republican Party. So, as of 1900, 35 conflicts have been launched by Republican administrations compared to 23 by Democrats, with 10 out of 12 GOP presidents launching one or more conflicts compared to 8 out of 8 Democrats. So, rooted in American conservatism, the Republican Party, commonly referred to as the GOP, which I did not know this, what the GOP stood for, was the Grand Old Party. I had no clue. Which also goes along the lines of, it took me forever to know what POTUS stood for, but don't judge. I seriously, it was let's see, in the last 6 years, I had no idea who POTUS was or FLOTUS. I'm sorry, that's the ignorance. I'm like, who the hell is the POTUS? Until I looked it up. Has always viewed strong national defense as one of its core principles. Online users visiting the GOP website today are encouraged to choose principles that are more important to them. One of the options reads, military must be strong and prepared to defend our shores. Given the party's solid emphasis on military strength and national security, it's not accidental the Republicans may have perceived as more eager to partake in military endeavors, with the U.S. acting as the world's policeman. I think the U.S. needs to stop, in all honesty. We can't police the world. We can't. We have so many issues in our own country right now that it's ridiculous. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, I agree.
Me too.
I agree, absolutely.
What am I agreeing to?
I mean, it's nice that if a country needs help because they're lacking, it's like when we went into Kuwait. Kuwait was getting their ass kicked and they had nothing. So yes, okay, something like that is good, but not to be in Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Syria, and all of this. It's just not good. We just can't do it. So, Democrats are warmongers who bring death and destruction to the people of the world. Joe Biden wasted no time at all reinstating the wars his predecessor, Obama, waged throughout the Middle East, destroying countless lives. And here we go again. I hate that this is an article I'm reading, so these aren't. I hate the Democratic Party more than I hate Adolf Hitler. At least Hitler was an honest man. He let everyone know he was a genocidal maniac. And if that ain't the damn truth, at least at least with Hitler, you knew what he was thinking. He didn't hide behind politics and everything else. He just outright let you know. These people, though, they prefer to talk to you about racial justice and people of color, all while locking them up and blowing them up. Obama conducted over 5,000 drone strikes in one single year. Wow. And they said he was a teddy bear. Trump brought peace to the Middle East with countless peace deals and not a single war waged. Yet he is billed as a Nazi and a white supremacist. Jim Crow will continue the legacy of his handler-in-chief by counting the wars of attrition in the Middle East, which have destroyed countless lives and endangered national security. Not to mention that taxpayer money is wasted. So, crap. I did all that in 30 minutes. So what do you guys think about Biden going right back into war again with Syria? Well, not again with Syria, but within, less than a month? Anybody?
I don't think we can afford to be weak for them.
No. We shouldn't be weak, but you know what's going to happen is they're going to dismantle the military. And
well, that would be the stupidest thing that he could do.
Huh?
That would be the stupidest thing he could do.
Well, what has he done to be smart?
Obama dismantled the military.
Yeah. So did Clinton. But we can't afford to show that we're weak.
No, but why did Biden go into Syria? I mean, there was no need in that. I mean, it had nothing to do with us.
That was a warning.
And so, I know, but he's also. I think Biden's just trying to deflect on what he's really doing. You know, but. Yeah, this article is definitely anti-Democrat. That's for sure.
I think any Cold War vet would disagree with dismantling the military.
Oh, yeah. We really shouldn't. I mean,
just from my own experience speaking, but I don't think any Cold War vet would disagree.
Nope.
Well, damn. I hate the fact that I just went through I went through 5 articles that fast. So, come on, guys, you got to give me more. No, it's not that. It's just that.
Are there any listeners out there who want to weigh in?
Only Sleepy Lorna.
I'm not sleeping.
So who do you think?
Guys,
who do you think your best presidents would be? You say the top 5. Do you think the best presidents would be?
Trump.
Ronald Reagan. Trump.
Reagan. Trump 2 times.
I like Bush.
3.
Which one?
Both.
Both. I
At
voted for
times.
both, and honestly,
But
I'm embarrassed to say that I voted for both of them. Just because of what they did. That's the only reason why I am, But it's
a bad Republican.
I
had to serve under Clinton for crying out loud.
Oh, I served under Bush Jr. and Obama. I was right in the middle of when I went in for both, and yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know. My captain told me we had to vote for Obama. I said, bullshit, we do. I said, you may be captain, but no. And I refused. I would not vote for him. I mean, that's just, honestly, I voted for, when they did the primaries, I voted for Ben Carson for president. Well, to be the nominee for presidency. No questions asked. And all I hated Trump. I'm like, no way am I voting for that man. And I voted for Carson. And then when he dropped out, and then it ended up down to Trump, well, then of course I'm going to get behind, the Republican Party. But you know, I just had a.
I voted for Trump.
Oh, I voted for Trump both times.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope he runs again.
Well, he did drop hints, but he'll be 82 or 81. So, I mean, he dropped a bunch of hints that he was going to run again. But if not, he'll get someone. They did say he was the top of the Republican Party, or the leader of the Republican Party, And he's not starting a third party, which makes no sense, because Ross Perot did that just to get votes from Bush. That's the only reason why he did that.
I think his son-in-law would be a good run.
Who?
Trump's son-in-law.
What's his name? I forgot.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
I think, honestly, me and my son were talking about it, but Matt Gaetz is too young. Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Don Jr.
I'd vote for Cruz.
Candace Owen. I'm trying to think. Who are they saying were the top? But, I mean, CPAC was awesome.
Trump's daughter.
Oh, Ivanka?
Would be good.
But she's not old enough.
Don't matter. It's about time we get some younger.
But wouldn't she be old enough by the time the next election runs around?
Hold on one second. Let me see how old you have to be. Oh. It's 35. It used to be 45. And the vice president, the vice president has to be at least 35 also. And senators is 30. And representatives are 25 before they can run. So yeah, if she's 35, she can run. But the thing is, yes, we do need younger people, but and I think that's why it's 35 years old and stuff. Some of these are just way too immature and irresponsible. So I'm trying to think who was the other one. He's young. No, the kid who's in the wheelchair. He lost his legs from a car accident. Well, he didn't lose his legs. He lost use of his legs. Oh, Hawthorne or isn't it Hawthorne?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Of North. But he's way too young. So But during CPAC, they were saying that the Republican Party, Ron DeSantis would be a good president. Would definitely be a great president. Mouthy, just like Trump. They put
just
Tucker
like
Carlson. They put Tucker Carlson as to run for president. Give me a break.
Rush would have been good.
President? Oh yeah, definitely.
Too bad he passed.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Ron DeSantis would make a great president. Ted Cruz.
I say Bobby Ormsby for president.
Now that's some funny shit.
Nikki Haley can kiss ass.
I'd vote for him as long as Weathers wasn't his vice president.
No shit. Oh, Trump's only 74. So he'll be 78. So, but yeah, why would they put Tucker Carlson is beyond me. But Nikki Haley can kiss ass and Liz Cheney. All of them. Every single one of them.
Judge Judy. That's who we need.
Oh, my God. Judge Judy and Trey Gowdy.
Yeah, right? that would be a dream team.
Can you imagine Trey Gowdy president and Judge Judy as vice president? She would crush anybody. Well, actually, they both would.
Did you hear Judge Judy's rip the president?
No. Oh, which one?
Oh, she had
which time?
on her show. The current one. She just did an opening monologue on him. And it was awesome.
I haven't watched Fox News in over a month and a half.
I heard it on the radio. I wasn't even watching it.
Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, if I was on watching Fox, the only ones I really pay attention to is Sean Hannity and Judge Judy. Not Judge Judy. Jeanine Pirro are the only ones.
Yeah.
I don't watch Tucker anymore because he's a sellout. I don't care what he says. Now he's trying too hard to come back. So, yeah, that would be awesome if Trey Gowdy would run. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Judge Judy.
When did you hear that?
Yesterday or the day before? I don't remember. I think it was the day before.
Let me see if I can.
She had a whole 25 minute opening monologue, and it just talking about gun grabbing and how many jobs were lost.
They've got everything for the last 6 years. Crap. Mono. I'm just looking for. I'm gonna watch it after.
The last 2 days.
2 years. 2 years. Well, damn, 2 months, 1 month. Well, for crying out loud, I can't find it. Why? What was she saying? I mean.
Oh, she was just going off mostly about grabbing guns and violation of the First and Second Amendment.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just trying to ban certain types of guns.
Grab?
Mm-hmm.
Biden's gun grab? I found it. It was 2 days ago. Okay. You know what? I didn't know she's 69. Holy crap. You know why she is the way she is? She's 5'4".
She's a firecracker.
Yeah,
Probably a redhead.
She's 5'4".
Napoleon complex, like Lorna.
Right.
Hell no.
Don't
Like
knock
Chris.
the short people now. Come on.
Well, it's what they say. Dynamite comes in short packages.
In small packages.
Short packages.
Well, Wisconsin has small packages.
I know it is in small packages, but it's the jokes about short people. My daughter's 5'3". I'm gonna tell you something. Of course, she takes after me, and that's probably where she gets it from. But
Poor
yeah.
kid.
Shut up.
My ex-wife is
I know.
4'11".
Yahoo! I'm bigger than somebody.
My kid's grandmother, their father's mother, was 4'9".
Wow.
And let me tell you, she was
my
one mean bitch when she wanted to be.
4'8". Or 4'9".
I loved her to death. I love that woman to death. But when she got bored, she would come to whoever's house, start a fight, and then leave. So, yes, them short people, man, they can just...
Was she Italian?
They could get you. No, she was Irish and English. Which, same thing. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of what else we could talk about with presidents or whatever. Because I literally did. I went through 5 articles of the best presidents, the worst presidents, and who did it. And I can't believe we went through all of it. It's hard for 2 hours, guys.
Yeah.
Talk about Watergate.
So, come on. Watergate? Okay. Let's Watergate salad. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Let me get a good article because I don't use Wikipedia because that's awful. It is awful.
Or Kennedy assassination. There's Jimmy Carter. There's a ton of stuff you can talk about.
Okay, let's go with Watergate scandal summary history timeline. This is an Encyclopedia Britannica, which usually has good stuff on here. Yeah, I don't like Wikipedia because a lot of it gets edited out. So, interlocking political scandals of the administration of President Richard Nixon that were revealed following the arrest of 5 burglars at a DNC headquarters in the Watergate office in a hotel and apartment complex. And it was on June 17th, 1972. So, it took him 2 years to impeach him. He's the only president to resign.
Bobby was a teenager then.
I was 1. I'm trying to find out what exactly Watergate was about. Because it says the cops arrested. The police apprehended 5 burglars at the office. 4 of them were CIA agents. Go figure. Against Fidel Castro in Cuba. They also referred to it in the press as Cubans. Only 3 of the 4 were Cuban. So 3 of the 4 were actually Cubans working in the CIA. And the 5th one was James W. McCord Jr. He was the Secretary of Chief of the Committee to re-elect the president. Wow. So, which was presided over by John Mitchell, Nixon's former Attorney General. And the arrest was reported in the next morning's Washington Post in an article written by Alfred E. Lewis. Yeah. They just wanted to you know. I'm looking to see what exactly it was about. This just talks about who got arrested. Nobody cares. So apparently these CIA guys, they were burglars on top of working for the CIA.
Yeah, they're stealing information.
Is that what it was? Yeah, this is
so.
all this article talks about is
it was a year before I was born, so.
I was born in 1971. Yeah. Oh, of course. You're just going to shut me down, little asshole. That one didn't. Okay. What was the Watergate scandal? Yeah, that was just a time frame of it and who got arrested. So, well, good Lord. Here's the inside scoop. See if you can get a good scoop on this. He doesn't look happy. You know what's amazing is how a scandal brought down Nixon, but we can't get a scandal to bring down any of these corrupt politicians now. I'm telling you. So the Watergate scandal was a defining moment in American politics and led to the resignation of Richard Nixon and the indictments of several of his advisors. The Watergate scandal was also a watershed moment for how journalism was practiced in the United States. The scandal gets its name from the Watergate complex in D.C., and it was the site of the June 1972 break-in at the DNC headquarters. So, yes, here we go. It repeats that. I'm not going to go over it again. Investigations by the FBI, the Senate Watergate Committee, and House Judiciary Committee, and the press revealed the break-in was one of several illegal activities authorized and carried out by Nixon's staff. These illegal activities included campaign fraud, political espionage and sabotage, illegal break-ins, improper tax audits, illegal wiretapping, and a laundered slush fund used to pay those who conducted the operations. Damn, no wonder he's a disgrace. I never really knew why he was a disgrace. Washington Post reporters, they relied on anonymous sources as their investigation revealed that the knowledge of the break-in and to its cover-up reached into the Justice Department, the FBI, and the CIA, and the White House. The primary anonymous source was an individual they nicknamed Deep Throat. In 2005, former Deputy Director of the FBI, William Mark Felt, Sr., admitted to being Deep Throat. So that's some horrible crap. So I'm trying to think. After 2 years of investigations, evidence implicating Nixon and his staff grew, including the existence of a tape recording system in Nixon's office. And he fired his special prosecutor, Cox, after he subpoenaed the tapes. This act prompted the resignations of Attorney General Elliot Richardson and Deputy Attorney General William Ruckelshaw. And the press labeled this the Saturday Night Massacre. So they ruled against Nixon in the court. And, wow. Gerald Ford granted Nixon a full and unconditional pardon. But that's it for that. Let's go with
John McClellan's
JFK. Huh?
John McClellan's crooked political party.
Oh, man.
Y'all
are still hating me for being gone for a week.
FNG,
Yeah.
you're right.
Damn new guys.
Yeah, I know, huh?
And yes, I got sunburnt, Lorna. Thank you very much.
Oh, you feeling better?
Oh, good.
That's all right, because
Okay,
Lorna
so-
got windburn.
That sucks.
I do not.
Probably got hot sunburn.
That too.
Got what?
Hot tub burn.
Oh,
Yeah, that sucks too.
that's a possibility.
Hold on.
You could do
Call it right.
Iran-Contra.
I'm trying to find out the similarities between Lincoln and Kennedy. Let's see. Similarities, which is kind of creepy. So, American presidents Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy were both tragically assassinated during their terms in office. Both men were admired by many, but actually hated by those who opposed their political views. Shortly after Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963, a comparison of his death and Lincoln on April 14th, 1865 surfaced. So here's some of their amazing coincidences. Wow, this is what I thought it was. So Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. Kennedy was elected to Congress in 1946. Lincoln was elected president in 1860. Kennedy was elected president in 1960. Lincoln lost his wife. His wife lost a child while living in the White House, and his wife lost a child while living in the White House. Lincoln was directly concerned with civil rights, and so wasn't Kennedy. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who told him not to go to the theater. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln who told him not to go to Dallas. Lincoln was shot in the back of the head in the presence of his wife. Kennedy was shot in the back of the head in presence of his wife. Lincoln shot Ford in the Ford Theater. Kennedy shot in a Lincoln made by Ford. They were both shot on Friday. They were both killed by three-letter assassins: John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and fled to a warehouse. Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and fled to a theater. Both were killed before being brought to trial. And there were theories that both was part of a greater conspiracy. And Lincoln's successor was Andrew Johnson, born in 1808. Kennedy's successor was Lyndon Johnson, born in 1908. Damn. And Andrew Johnson died 10 years after Lincoln's death, and Lyndon Johnson died 10 years after Kennedy's death.
And that's the year that Lorna was born.
That's some weird shit.
Whatever.
That all of those. So Lincoln had a dream several days before his assassination that he had been killed. He told his wife that he had seen himself in a casket. In February 1861, there was a plot called the Baltimore Plot to assassinate Lincoln as he passed through a city. an NYPD officer, John Kennedy, claimed to have uncovered the plot. In 1951, a movie called The Tall Target was made about the plot, starring Dick Powell as Kennedy. Wow. That's some cool stuff. I don't know how much more similarities you can get other than that. So what were you talking about? What was the other one? John? Is that a bird?
Iran-Contra.
Okay. Iran-Contra. Okay. You guys there?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got booted, and I'm sitting there going, I said, hello. I remember this, the Iran-Contra affair. It was a political scandal that exploded in 1986 during Reagan's second term. And when it came to light that senior administration officials had secretly and in violation of existing laws arranged for the sale of arms to Iran in return for Iran's promise to help secure the release of a group of Americans being held hostage in Lebanon. Proceeds from the arms sales were then secretly and, again, illegally funneled to the Contras, a group of rebels fighting the Marxist Sandinista government of Nicaragua. Well, Iran-Contra affair, key takeaways. The Iran-Contra affair was a political scandal that played out between 85 and 87. It was revolved around a plan by the Reagan administration officials to secretly and illegally sell arms. Well, I just repeated that. So the background of it is the Iran-Contra scandal grew out of Reagan's determination to eradicate communism worldwide. So supportive of the Contra rebels' struggle to overthrow Nicaragua's Cuban-backed Sandinista government, Reagan had called them the moral equivalent of our founding fathers. Operating under the so-called Reagan Doctrine of 1985, the U.S. CIA was already training and assisting in the Contras, with the Contras, and similar anti-communist insurgencies in several countries. However, between 1982 and 84, Congress had twice specifically prohibited providing further funding to the Contras. The controlled path of the Iran-Contra scandal began a covert operation to free 7 American hostages who were held in Lebanon since the state-sponsored Iranian terrorist group, Hezbollah, had kidnapped them in 1982. The initial plan was to have America's ally, Israel, ship weapons to Iran, thus bypassing an existing U.S. arms embargo against Iran. The United States would then supply Israel with arms, receive payment from the Israeli government, and in return for the weapons, the Iranian government promised to help free the Hezbollah-held American hostages. However, in late 1985, the National Security Council member, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, secretly devised and implemented a revision to the plan whereby a part of the proceeds from the weapons sales to Israel was secretly and in violation of the congressional ban to be diverted to Nicaragua to help the insurgents. So, what was the Reagan Doctrine? Do you guys know? Anyone? Free beer. Wow. I was just waiting for someone to say something. The term Reagan Doctrine arose from President Reagan's 85 State of the Union address, in which he called on Congress and all Americans to stand up to the communist-ruled Soviet Union, or as he called it, the evil empire. He told Congress, we must stand by all our democratic allies and we must not break faith with those who are risking their lives on every continent, from Afghanistan to Nicaragua, to defy Soviet-supported aggression and secure rights which have been ours since birth. So that's, and I remember Oliver North got in a lot of trouble. I actually watched some of that. I was only 15 now when it came out. It says Reagan made no secret of his ideological support, but he didn't tell Oliver North to do what he did. So
I actually liked Oliver North.
I didn't. I mean, I was 15, so I really didn't care. Like I said, I didn't. History was not my subject. Yeah, history was not my subject of choice. Not at all. All right, guys, come on.
Birds?
Come up with another.
Who's got birds?
Not me. Must be.
It's my German Shepherd toy.
Oh, his squeaky toy. Let's see. Come on.
He's fighting the Chihuahua.
Bobby, do you want to go further in depth into what we talked about Thursday or Saturday? Because we only had like minutes left.
Yeah.
About, I think I deleted the article.
Doofus.
But it won't be. I know I deleted it because I just kept it, and then I'll delete it. And if anybody wants it, then I think I put it on the page. But what is? Come on, Agenda 21. We started talking about Agenda 21 on Saturday, but we had like minutes to talk about it. Let me see. I think this is the one I opened up. Come on. What is Agenda 21? It's a depopulation of 95% of the world by 2030, which is, what did they say it was? We have almost 8 billion people in the world right now. It would only be, a couple million? They'd be left in the world? Hello? Yeah.
I would say China's
okay.
ahead of the game with that population control.
Well, I know, and that's what we were talking about. India, China are one of the two most populated countries in the world, and it's like, I don't even see why they need to do 95%, but this is what we found out. I thought Agenda 21 was something with just America, but apparently Agenda 21 correlates with the Great Reset. Same people. And the articles that I found, so most people are unaware that one of the greatest threats to their freedom may be the United Nations program, which plans to depopulate 95% of the world. And the name of the program, or the plan, is Agenda 21, and it was developed by the UN Economic and Social Affairs Division for Sustainable Development as part of a sustainable policy. According to the UN website, Agenda 21 is a comprehensive plan of action to be taken globally, nationally, and locally by organizations of the UN system, government, major groups in every area which humans have impact on the environment. In a nutshell, the plan calls for governments to take control of all land use and not leave any of the decision-making in the hands of private property owners. That's exactly what the Great Reset is also. You're going to own nothing and be happy about it. Is assume that people are not good stewards of their land, and governments will do a much better job if they're in control. So individual rights in general are to give away the need of communities as determined by the governing body. Moreover, people should be rounded up off the land and packed into human settlements on islands of human habitation close to employment centers and transportation. Another program called the Wildlands Project spells out how most of the land is to be set up for non-humans. So AI. So Agenda 21 policies back to the date of the 70s. Wow. And it got its real start in 1992 at the Earth Summit in Rio, when Bush signed into it. And Clinton signed it later and continued the program in the United States. Agenda 21 is soft law and did not have to be voted on by the Congress, a non-governmental organization called the International Council of Local Environmental Initiatives. It is tasked with carrying out the goals of Agenda 21. Over 600 cities in the U.S. are members, and that number is growing. And, of course, guess who pays for it? The taxpayer. So, and there's a little video about it on this website. So, but that didn't talk about how they plan to depopulate. Videos. So, here. The Agenda 20, the socialists plan to use coronavirus pandemic for global control. Come on. And if you guys watched the that World Summit, it talks about how COVID is the start of the whole depopulation and getting the Great Reset started. In the 1990s, the UN. Let me see. So they actually renamed it to Agenda 30 instead of Agenda 21, and I take it's because of the year. So, starting last year, the push for Agenda 30 wasn't about climate change, but about fighting future and global pandemics as well. In 2019, some of the world's most powerful business and political leaders met to discuss how to prepare for such a crisis. And now we have the coronavirus outbreak reaching every corner of the world and becoming clearer every day that socialists are going to use this pandemic to achieve their ultimate global control. Where's the rest of the article? Hold on one second. I just lost part of the... No, that was it. So basically, they're one and the same. Agenda 21 and the Great Reset. And I take it the way to depopulate the world is by
flu vaccine.
For vaccinations. Yeah, the vaccine, and we were talking about that BS thing about plant-based beef and all that crap. But
yep.
I'm trying to find how or where it is about the depopulation, because they're kind of skipping it. But they're going to try and start and with controlling people's property and then the food supply. And when you do that, you're not going to have enough food to go around, and that's how you're going to do it. The genocidal agenda of humanity has already begun. The chemtrails, vaccines, irradiated food, GMOs, smart meters, and 5G deployment. I still don't understand about the 5G, why they say it's bad. I don't know if it's the radiation from the towers. I don't know if that's what it is. Wow. So there's a mass migration right now going on, and It says, so how will people who barely earn $300 a year could afford to go from Africa to Israel? And that's what they're doing. There's a mass migration right now from Africa to Israel. It says, I discovered that this is being paid for, and these immigrants are being protected by NGOs, non-government agencies, which are funded by foreign governments and foundations. I surmise that this is an orchestrated immigration to Israel, resembling that from Syria to Africa to Europe and then to the U.S. It's to destroy the Western countries and those aligned with them from within. Then I started thinking about what we aren't being told about this mass population migration to Israel. At the beginning, the Israeli mainstream media called them refugees. However, after the UN representatives had checked their status, they pointed out that only 6% of them were really refugees. So that's what they're trying to do, is destroy our country from within. We're the last standing country of freedom, and they have to destroy us in order for us to take for the Agenda 21 and the Great Reset to happen.
Well, I'm sure the coin shortage, supposed coin shortage, is a big part of that too.
Yeah, they have to end all currency. That's the only way they're going to get to the one world currency, which is going to be electronic. There's not going to be any bills left.
No, it'll be your Bitcoin, your virtual money.
Yeah. Right now, Bitcoins are at how much? Was it 30,000 a share? I know it was a lot. I'm trying to make. Yeah, this is all. And this also goes along with the Green New Deal. How they're supposed to get rid of, all of this, and with Bill Gates buying up. I did post the link how he owns now almost 500,000 acres of land. They're talking about making the plant-based beef or whatever. What was it called? Chemically, I don't know, something engineered beef, and that's part of what they're doing. Hold on. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. All right. So basically, taxpayers are going to pay for the plan without their knowledge or consent. None of us were informed of it, and obviously you didn't have to vote on it because they said tough shit. It says the UN Agenda 21 is responsible for the development programs in your city that you're not aware of behind the mass engineered immigration into the West and heavy population surveillance everywhere. Oh, that's what it is with the smart meters and 5G. You can search for Agenda 21 by your city or town by searching Agenda 21 and the name of your city in Google. Oh. So the NGO compromises of 12 megacities, 100 super cities, 450 large cities, 450 medium cities, and 84 countries. Wow. I want to look that up by they want to bring everybody into mega cities and out of the rural areas is what they're trying to do. Wow. And they're using it to condition children and young teenagers. You guys awake?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, get awful quiet. So I just put in my Agenda 21 in my city, and it says Kansas lawmakers endorse measure opposing the UN sustainability plan. So I don't live in one of them crazy nut job cities. So in Kansas, they're opposing it, the Agenda 21. So they said, "Screw you." Let's see who else. Bobby, what city do you live in? Bobby. Lorna.
Columbia.
Jesus. South Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay, so no. Your city sold out.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, your city sold out to Agenda 21. Wow. Shame on them.
Yep.
Oh, wow. This is a huge list. Where do you live, Lorna?
In a box.
You live in... Yeah,
Balsam Lake, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Quit picking on me. You have that.
Would figure Broward County, Florida. Well, your city didn't sell out. What about you, John? Where do you live?
Mooresville.
Mooresville?
Horseville.
Holy crap.
Or Canby. I'm in Canby now.
Canby, damn it.
A city or a county?
Morgan County.
Oh, no, I need to say. Logan?
Canby or Mooresville.
Okay, hold on. Nope. You don't live in a sellout town. So, Bobby, sucks to be you. Wow, Chattanooga, Tennessee, they sold out. Wow. Hey, what about Slacker, number 1? Where does he live? In Illinois. Where does he live?
Troy, Illinois.
Oh. Okay.
TA, Illinois.
No. Come on. It's a long way down to the bottom. Tracy, Traverse, and Tuckahoe. Well, if I was in the name Tuckahoe, I could...
Tuckahoe in your pocket.
But no. So, Bobby, you are the only one who lives in a sellout city.
Yeah,
okay, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to post it to the group. But, yeah, that's the list of every single city that sold out to Agenda 21. So, and I doubt, you know what? Let me see. I want to see just in general. Texas. See how many traders are in Texas. Wow. So, no, Texas said, screw you. They said, no way. So, well, Bobby, time to leave North Carolina.
I'm not in North
South
Carolina.
Whatever. That's just rough. But, yeah. So, think of what else. Come on. I'm going to see what else I got. What else did we go over?
You could do Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, okay. You know,
Cuban
I
necktie.
lived in Miami when that happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Oh no, that was in 1962. So never mind. I lived in Miami though, but I thought it was later. But it was It ended in 1962. So 9 years before I was born. Oh well. So let's see, the Cuban Missile Crisis. I believe Miami is only 90 miles from Cuba.
Yes, I was just there at the southernmost point. Key West is 90 miles.
Yeah, did you like the 7 Mile Bridge?
Yes.
Yeah, I hated it. I was able to go on the original one, and it's falling apart, actually, and it was only 2 lanes back in the day.
Yeah.
And now it's...
I was on the original one. God, that was probably 25 years ago when I was in the
When
Keys
they built it?
Yeah. So the Cuban Missile Crisis of October 1962 was a direct and dangerous confrontation between the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War, and was the moment when the two superpowers came to the closest to a nuclear conflict. And it was unique in a number of ways, featuring calculations and miscalculations, as well as direct and secret communications and miscommunications between both sides. And it was a dramatic crisis that was characterized by the fact it was primarily played out at the White House and the Kremlin. Wow. They played Battleship in their office. So they have an aerial view of a picture of the launch site. So after the failed U.S. attempt to overthrow Castro in Cuba with the Bay of Pigs invasion, and while the Kennedy administration planned Operation Mongoose in 1962, Khrushchev reached a secret agreement with Fidel Castro, and I think Castro's dead, right?
Because I'm making a single cup of coffee.
And well, go make your coffee.
No, I'm talking to my daughter. I thought I muted myself.
No, shame on you. Didn't Castro die?
Yeah.
And his brother took over?
Better stay away from that Irish coffee.
Yeah, and his brother's worse than him, though.
Yes, sir.
No, Lorna is. Because her and her Crown coffee.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You need that Black Rifle coffee.
I'll tell you what, though. I don't think I've ever drank so many mojitos in my life.
Oh, yeah.
You did what?
We drank 2 handles worth of mojitos the week we were there.
Mojitos.
Oh, those are good.
We made them ourselves. I couldn't afford the $15 a drink mojitos. It's cheaper to buy them from than the wine.
Yes, it is cheaper to buy the stuff, yeah. I was on an island down there. It was so small you could see both sides of the island standing in the middle. Or actually, you sit on one side and see the other side of the island. I was there with the church group for the teenagers, and we went there, and that's a small-ass island down there. But that's before they built the new 7 Mile Bridge. And to get there, it was just one little off-ramp to get on the island.
Yeah,
so, anywho.
They've rehabbed some of that bridge, the original bridge, in parts. So you can go out and fish off of it.
Oh, yeah. You could drive out, but then big hunks of the bridge is missing.
Yes.
That's like in, it's up there, Cape Hatteras. They had to, they built that second bridge, and oh, my God, it's massive. And then they had to build a new road because of every time they had a hurricane, it would flood. And within 6 months, I watched just from going back and forth and camping and stuff from Virginia, and we would drive to Cape Hatteras. You could see how much progress they were making on it, which I'm sure it's finished by now. But this was 2 years ago. But they had a lot to build. And, which hurricane was it? I think I was still in Virginia. The one that went all the way inland and flooded and killed, and it drowned all the pigs, all the farmers? Did you get hit with that hurricane, Bobby?
No, they usually go right around us.
But you know what hurricane I'm talking about, that big-ass one? It completely destroyed. I mean, we watched the video, the live feed where the waves were coming in and the water came in, and it went right up the main streets of Cape Hatteras.
What year?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. What year?
What hurricane?
If it was while I was in the Navy, I was probably deployed for it.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not the right one. That's 1944. Wrong one.
Anyways.
Dorian. Oh, it was Dorian.
Hear me?
That's the one.
I think that's too cold. So I'll wake up at some point.
Dorian. I don't think I was down here for that one. Oh, yeah, I was in, yeah.
Yeah, Hurricane Dorian left nearly $15 million in damages from Duck to Hatteras Island, and it damaged almost 1,200 homes, commercial buildings, and public facilities. Yeah, and then that's the one that, holy crap! Wow, you see these pictures. I remember driving right up this road, and it's completely flooded. It's gone. But that's the one that went up. You know that inlet that's up there? I'm trying to think of where that inlet's at.
Muriel's Inlet.
Hold on, let me see if I can. I want to see if I can do this on my phone while I'm on here. Let's see. But yeah, that's where all the water, the high tide kept coming in when it came in, and it pushed all of the water up into that inlet, and it drowned. I think it drowned all the pig farms or chicken farms. Good Lord. Where is it? Ah, here it is. North Carolina, South Carolina, not Norfolk. Where's Hatteras? Where's Hatteras? South Carolina? Where the hell is it? It is?
I think it's considered South Carolina.
Hold on, let's see.
Or it might be North Carolina.
That's Myrtle Beach. Have you been on the ferry that takes you to here it is. It is actually not the Pamlico River, New Bern. That's where it was at. It was in New Bern where it came in, South Carolina. And the Pamlico River, or Pamlico River, were those two inlets, and that's where everything got flooded and destroyed. If you ever want to go somewhere cool, the Croatan National Forest, it's just pretty cool. And they got camping, and you can go hunting there, and it's for free because the BLM owns it, the Bureau of Land Management. But there's only one problem. There's only one problem with it. It's gorgeous. We stayed there. But if you're on one side of it, of the camping, it's up the road. They got these nuclear-sized, no, they're not mosquitoes. They're not greenheads, because those are in Florida. Like horseflies. These son of a bitches, they're like in flocks. And you can't do anything. And I'm echoing this, driving me nuts. Let me call you back.
If you must. Good, she's gone. Now we can talk about her.
I don't think she was echoing. I think it was her multiple personalities talking at the same time.
Shut up, John. Shut up. I heard that. No, I echo. I hate that when you start to echo.
You resemble it too.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah.
I said you resemble it too.
Shut up. Shut up. Let me go back to the damn Cuban Missile Crisis, for crying out loud. How do you get sidetracked? So construction of several Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba to deter any future invasion attempt. It began in the late summer, but U.S. intelligence discovered evidence of a general Soviet arms buildup on Cuba, including Soviet 28 bombers during routine surveillance flights. And on September 4th, 1962, Kennedy issued a public warning against the introduction of offensive weapons into Cuba. I'm trying to think of wasn't it during Kennedy's presidency when he banned all flights to Cuba? Wasn't it after this? You know, you still can't fly to Cuba from America?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, Obama was supposed to have deregulated that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Which was stupid.
My neighbors went 2 years ago or a year ago, and I don't know how they went.
You have to go from Canada or another country. But I want to find out when that stopped because, or you go from Cuba to the Cayman Islands to America, because the Cayman Islands are the puddle jump because it's the Cayman Islands is on the other side. So,
well, you know, there is a underground communications cable that goes from Key West under the ocean to Cuba.
No.
It allows for communications between Cuba and the U.S. It's old. I don't know if it's still operative.
So basically, they put the embargo on Cuba in 1958. So that had nothing to do with Kennedy. And every 6 months they had to renew it. And Carter was the last person. I don't know why I thought it was still going on. But the reason, and see, here's what happened. Castro would empty his prisons and then send their happy ass to Florida because he didn't want them. And that's how there was that big, massive influx of Cubans that ended up in South Florida. And there's not many native Floridians in South Florida anymore. Most of them are all
exactly
Cubans.
What's going to happen right now with the current administration when he opens the border again. We're going to get a massive influx of Cubans through Key West.
No. Well, you'll get all the Mexicans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, and all that shit from Texas. But
do you remember when they were coming over on refrigerator doors and it's 90 miles.
Yeah.
Garbage can lids.
They made.
Coast
I
Guard
shit you
was
not. They
rescuing
made
them and
rafts. They made a raft out of 50-gallon drums, and they would come over like that. And the little boy, what was his name?
Helia. They sent him back to Cuba.
They fought to keep him because didn't his parents die on the way over?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Who was that? Look, Elian Gonzalez, the 6-year-old boy who was rescued off the coast of Florida. He was with his mother and she drowned. And his father was in Cuba. And oh wow! Oh, you should see him now. Wow. Castro held a gun to him. Holy shit! That's why they didn't want. He wanted to stay. He begged to stay, but wow. Yeah, I remember they fought to keep him in Miami. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What other cool historical crap can we look up? We got 10 minutes. Or we can just kill the bullshit.
John's trip to Florida.
John, did you like all the Cubans down there?
I like Cuban sandwiches.
Did you eat Cuban food?
Yes.
Besides Cuban sandwiches?
Yes, I had empanadas, Cuban coffee.
Oh, Cuban coffee, man, that's the shit. That's like nuclear-powered diesel fuel. Yeah, they give you them tiny little cups.
Yeah. Yep. I had my last breakfast there. I had a Cuban omelet with chicken empanada and Cuban coffee.
There's a place called Pollo Tropical. It's a fast food place, but that's got the best damn Cuban food there is. And I have looked for one.
A juice bar. And
what?
Was packed. A Cuban juice bar, but they serve breakfast and lunch. And it was cheap. I think an empanada was $2.
If you go, and that was my favorite. The guava and cheese pastries. There's bakeries, and you got to go to the authentic Cuban bakeries and stuff. And it's downtown, not downtown. It's in Miami, and it's just like it's like if you go into it's a little Havana. And they make it in the espresso machines, and you have to put sugar in it. Oh my God! I don't know how you had yours. You have to put sugar in it.
Well, both times I had them.
Now,
and I usually drink black. So.
Well, my mom will make a pot of Cuban coffee and drink it like regular American coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's wrong with my mother.
They have Cuban bakeries in Little Havana that are open 24 hours.
Oh yeah, I lived down there. I lived there until I was 16, and then I left, went to New Hampshire and Mass, and then went to Georgia, and then went back to Miami as an adult. And oh my God, some of that. It was hard for me because everyone talks to you in Spanish, and I feel like, why are you talking to me in Spanish? They're like, oh, you look like a Cuban. Oh,
yeah. I used to get that when I was married to an Italian. Anytime we'd go out, they thought we were Hispanic. because you have
the funny thing, the worst thing is, well, I don't know. It's the only way I learned any Spanish was in nursing, and some of my patients did not speak a word of English, and so I would have to learn body parts, and they would just say, you know where they hurt, and that's the only way I could communicate. Because other than that, I'd be like, huh?
2 years ago, when I was in Florida, we went to. I went from Tampa to to South Beach, well, to the Everglades, and then we went from the Everglades to South Beach, and I asked for a good Cuban restaurant for one of the tour guides. He was a Cuban guy, and he gave me directions, and it was in Little Havana, and we literally sat on the side of the road, Little Havana, and ate, and I couldn't order anything. I had to point to what I wanted.
Now, I don't know how much you know about, like, Dade County and stuff. Broward County, little to no Hispanics at all. But Miami-Dade County, there's Little Havana, all Cubans, Puerto Ricans, all Hispanic. Then you go a couple blocks down, you have Overtown, which is all black. If you're not black, you don't live there. Now, I don't know about it now.
Little Havana's no joke. I went to a couple gas stations and wouldn't get out of the car. I went to another one. It was bad.
Oh, hell no.
And I've lived in Camden, New Jersey, Philadelphia. You know.
You don't mess with Overtown and Little Havana. I kid you not.
Hell.
I had to. When I was a nurse, I would do agency nursing, and they sent me to Miami Jewish Hospital. It's actually it's a compound. It's a hospital, a nursing home, a rehab for surgeries and stuff, and then another rehab was for drugs and stuff like alcohol and drug rehab, and then there was your HIV. Your Petri dish patient, well, they actually live there. And I had to drive through Overtown just to get there. And my mom was like, did you? I'm like, yeah, Mom, I knew exactly where I was going. And you have to go through a security gate to even get in there. But, it's no joke. Living down there. But... Well, Bobby, we have 5 minutes. And he's sleeping again.
Yep.
Which is why I say free beer. Just
free
who
beer.
wakes up first. Beer here. Free beer. That's why I said that.
It should wake one up.
Hey, I went on a tour of the Coast Guard Ingham.
I'm awake.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him?
No, I've been to the Coast Guard base down there, but.
Well, it was on the Navy base, but it's Coast.
Yeah, I've been there one time.
In Key West, it's a museum, and it's the most decorated
not that far down.
Guard ship in naval history.
That's cool.
You should look it up sometime. It's really cool.
Did you have you ever been to Vizcaya?
No.
Oh my God, that is awesome! It has a limestone. It's made out of limestone. They made it, but it's a cargo ship, and then the house. Oh my God, you're not allowed to take pictures, but I did anyway, because they're afraid of what the camera flash will do to the artwork and the tapestries. But the gardens, oh my God, absolutely beautiful down there. Oh my God, yeah.
All right, we got 3 minutes.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Whatever. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Kim. Very, very good night. Very good show. Thanks, John. Thanks, Lorna, even though you're still sleeping.
I am not sleeping.
But everybody have a good night. God bless America. God bless our kids, troops, veterans, first responders, and God bless the Defender 7.
Amen.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.